Husband wants bigger boobs. My husband is really into working out, and I don't mind that. But sometimes he tries to push his ways on me, like how he eats. That's not what I'm upset about, though. I think it's really important that you have your own space and autonomy in a relationship. Like, yeah, you're with someone who you love and want to build a life with, but it's good to be able to make your own choices, like what you eat or wear. But anyways, like I was saying, that's not what's bothering me. Lately, whenever I wear a dress, he says I look nice, but I'd look better with bigger boobs. You know how that feels. When you try to be nice and just tell someone you like their outfit and you mention you like the style, and then they respond, no, I think this style is so bad. I would look so much better in another style. It's like, I get you think you're complimenting me and you mean well, but if you just compliment me on what I'm wearing and not tell me what I should be wearing, I'm sure everyone would be much happier. Anyways, like I was saying, whenever I wear a dress, he says I look nice, but I'd look better with bigger boobs. And that's really the part that hurts the most, that he's not happy with what I've got and thinks I need to change my body to please him. I tried to tell him that I know how it feels to not feel good enough, but he said I'm being immature. It's frustrating because he just dismisses my feelings. It makes me feel like I'm not worthy of being heard, which, come on, you should have a supportive partner. I don't want to make this about my size, but I'm pretty flat-chested, okay? I've always been conscious of it, and now he's made me feel really bad about it. It's like he doesn't understand that what you feel insecure about, you're especially sensitive to people bringing it up. Yesterday, we were getting ready for his friend's wedding, but I ended up staying home. Honestly, I didn't even feel like I was able to be happy for him. I'm not a party pooper, but I felt so bad, I couldn't even pretend. He brought up the surgery again, and I got mad. Honestly, I kind of exploded. He kept talking about how I would look better, like my current appearance was some sort of failing. I told him if he thinks I'm not good enough, then he should just leave me. This isn't a one bad day thing. You know how it feels to be with someone, and they're just not giving you what you need. It felt like he had just stopped putting in any effort at all. It feels really rough when someone isn't happy with you. He said he loves me and wants to be with me, but he'd be more attracted to me with bigger boobs. Like I said before, it's not like it's just something small to him, it's this big huge thing that's really a problem in our relationship. I told him to go to the wedding alone. You know what, maybe it's just me, but I'm not a doormat. You should never feel like your happiness is dependent on another person, and I think it's so messed up to ask someone to change their body, especially to try and get the approval of the one person who should be accepting you as you are. I think it's pretty wild that my husband is willing to leave me over this. I think our fights are making things worse. And that's scary. You know that moment when you're in a relationship that feels kind of shaky and you wonder, is this actually what I want? The little fights start to seem more significant, and the big arguments leave you questioning what you're doing. I was so hopeful that things would work out, and it sucks that that's not happening. Should I even consider getting a divorce? This was such a huge decision for me, and it really has to do with this fundamental need of mine to be loved by someone who loves me, the whole me. The first couple of weeks after you get married, everything feels like it's moving really fast. You feel really excited about the new chapter. Maybe it's the pressure from the outside world and your families and stuff, but it feels like all of a sudden, you're put in this position of making really big decisions, and that's just so intense. I'm not asking if I should get bigger boobs. I know I'm flat-chested. You have to accept yourself and that other people might think differently. I'm aware, alright? I just want to know if what he's doing is okay. People keep saying to be strong and like, he's wrong. You're perfect, but I don't know. It feels really intense, like this might be the end of the road for our marriage. But then, it's not even about that anymore. I'm feeling so conflicted. Should I be more understanding of his feelings? I don't want to leave the marriage. I'm not giving up easily. I really do love him, and he is a good person, except for this. But what happens if I say yes to the surgery? Would that help him see me as beautiful? Someone said I should talk to him about this and see how he reacts. I'm going to sit him down tomorrow and have a serious talk with him. But whenever I try to talk about it, he changes the subject. You know how it feels when you need to be honest, and you need someone to understand, but they're just avoiding it. Another person asked if my husband is acting like this because of someone else, maybe a new coworker with big boobs. That could be it. Why is he suddenly thinking I'm not good enough? I mean, he did just start that new job. Maybe it's all going well and now there's a new girl at work and he's got a bunch of other stuff on his mind. and his insecurity about me came out because he was overwhelmed and needed to put something on someone. Another person asked if he knows about my mom. You see, every woman in my family has big boobs, except me. My husband does know. It's pretty tough to feel like this insecurity is something that's followed you from family to family. Could he be trying to hurt me because of that? Maybe he's having an affair and wants me to start the divorce. Honestly, it would explain his sudden change in attitude. Why even get married if you already know your wife isn't what you want, you know? I just made an online account to see what other people think. It's almost like you need to ask other people about how they'd react in this situation to feel like you're making the right choice, even if it's wrong. I'm not lying about anything, especially not my chest size. You really shouldn't have to prove anything. And when your partner says they don't like something, it's so upsetting. You want everyone else to confirm that you're still worthy of love. I wish we could talk things out, maybe go to counseling. It's scary how much therapy can change your life, for the better or for the worse. I want to know if there's a way to make him happy without getting surgery. You know that feeling of really wanting something to work out? I hope I don't have to give up so easily. Well, I finally sat him down last night. The tension between us was insane. I could barely stand being in the same room with him. He tried to change the subject again. Like I knew he was going to. It's so tough to be honest when you know the other person just wants to avoid it, you know. But I tried to stand my ground, and I was persistent. I told him we have to talk about it now, or he can never bring up the surgery again. This finally got through to him. He wouldn't answer me directly. And that's when I knew that I was going to have to be really careful about what I did next, because if he didn't want to talk, that must have meant he was hiding something. It was really heartbreaking. He wouldn't say anything but looked at me like I had broken him, like I was so much scarier then. I had thought. I asked him what changed in the last few months, if he wanted me to consider surgery. I don't know why, but I knew if I just pressed him for answers, it might turn out that he was going to deny, which would be awful. So I had to make him think I wanted to know what was happening instead of wanting to confront him for a wrong he did. I had to be really strategic about it. He pulled out his phone and showed me pictures of women. They weren't even famous models, just regular women. Like I was thinking before, that maybe he's having an affair, and now this would make me believe that he just wasn't satisfied with me at all. It was such a huge shock to see those pictures. I asked what he ever liked about me, because none of those women looked anything like me. And this is really how it feels. You feel betrayed by someone you're supposed to trust. I was hoping to have a happy ending where it was just a small bump in the road and he loved me for the same reason he always has. But he said he liked my lips. Like what? Really? I told him, if I'm going to get surgery, are there any other things I could fix to make him more attracted to me? And that's when I really hit my breaking point. I really needed to believe he didn't hate everything about me, and I really thought, maybe he just wants this to be our dirty little secret, and we'll make up. You're supposed to be your best support when things go bad. It really did feel like this was a big, huge deal. I hoped he'd say he loves everything about me except my boobs. That's what I wanted to believe was true. He just said, "You're good." That just really hurt. How am I supposed to convince him I'm worth something? It's like, that one statement is what made it so clear that there's nothing you can say or do to make someone change how they feel about you, even if it's your husband. I don't know if he really did want me to go under the knife for my own sake. I told him I'd think about it and said good night because I couldn't let him see me cry. You know, the whole situation just felt so unfair, you know? He gets to show me pictures of women and act like there's no problem with that? I don't know if I'm just dumb or if he's just showing his true colors now that we're married. People told me not to be so quick to judge, because he might be trying to protect me, so I was really holding on to the idea that he was a good guy, but this just confirmed what I was secretly afraid of. He was unhappy, and he wanted to pretend that wasn't true. He does know about my family, how all the women have big boobs except me. You know that moment of reflection? It's like, oh wow, this pattern has always been there. It really makes me think if that was my insecurity all along, something I hid but was aware of and wanted to change, would this situation be less scary or would it be even more horrible? Some people think I married him for his looks. That's not true. He was insecure about his looks then. It's hard to remember when everything was so happy and there was so much potential. I always tell him how handsome I think he is. And besides, I'm a beautiful woman. My mom or anyone else can't change that. It's just true. The reality of your beauty is about your perspective, how much you love yourself. And no matter what others say, you have to stand by it. He always used to say how people look at me when we go out. It's so hard, when the one person who should see how beautiful you are doesn't see you at all. He said I was so pretty and always complimented my look. Did he just lie? Did he ever really think I was attractive? And what's worse, he was just putting up with me this whole time. It really hurt to know that he doesn't want me the way I am. You know, when someone doesn't feel beautiful, they hide themselves. But I was always open and honest. That made me so vulnerable. It's terrible, realizing that the person you love might never be happy with you, not because of a specific feature, but because of who you are. I'm happy with my body, but it hurts to not be wanted by the person I love. I am fine. You have to make peace with yourself and not let someone's opinions affect you. I need to come up with a plan. I bought a big, giant dildo today, bigger than him, and I'm going to use it tonight after he goes to sleep. I need to move forward, but it feels like my head and my heart are in two totally different places. It's like a game. If I'm hurt, then he has to hurt too, right? I need to get a divorce. You know when you don't know what to do next, and everything just feels so bleak. I need to move on, find something new, and build my own happiness. Thank you to everyone who has shared their advice. It's funny how your support is what helps you find strength, and all those people you thought didn't have a clue are the ones who will see you through a dark time. I can't talk to my family or friends about this. It's embarrassing. It's sad that you have to seek comfort from strangers, from the internet, when you should be able to share your biggest life worries with your loved ones. I need to get help from people on the internet. One person said I should just tell him no and maybe suggest counseling. She said she wouldn't let a man treat her like this, especially if he wasn't even attracted to her. Someone else said that I'm becoming a statistic, that I should have stayed with him and tried to work things out. What kind of advice is that? To make things work, when someone is so unhappy they're willing to walk out on you for what is actually such a small thing. I will work on how his words made me feel. But he needs to find someone else if he's so obsessed with big boobs. I don't want to get into a huge debate, you know? That's not what's going to change the situation. Someone said he's not even in a shoal, he's worse. Surgery is a big deal, and it's not like getting your nails done. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need some support and I'll have to get some new clothes afterwards. Some boys think I'm being in a shoal for reacting this way to his porn addiction. They say I should just give him a chance. What about my feelings? You're right to ask yourself that question. That's what's important in any relationship, putting each other's happiness first. I'm pretty sure this is the end of the road. It really makes me angry, knowing that he wouldn't tell me how he was feeling. I really feel like he's disrespecting me. My own husband, my partner for life. I feel like a victim of this horrible situation.